Okay, in today's video about Algorand, we are going to check out the live chart and see what is going on there. But first, I'm going to talk about a very important subject called tokenomics, and I'm going to talk about specifically this comment right in here, which they say inflationary tokenomics overwhelm bullish technicals, down is the word on Algorand. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones, and let me be very clear. When we talk about inflationary tokenomics, we mean basically two things. Number one, there is no maximum supply in terms of tokens. And number two, every single year we distribute more tokens than the previous year. So for example, let's say in 2025, we are going to distribute 5 billion tokens. 2026, we're going to do 6 billion. Next year, we're going to do 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11. You get the idea. Now, before we talk about Algorand tokenomics specifically, let's go on CoinMarketCap and check out the top 10. At rank number 1, we are having Bitcoin with a maximum supply of 21 million tokens. And at the moment, the circulating supply is about 19.8 million. And this means that overall, for the future, we are only going to have 1.2 million tokens get added to the network onto the next one, which is Ethereum. Now, this is kind of interesting because Ethereum doesn't really have a maximum supply, and this does kind of fit to the word inflationary tokenomics. However, the inflation rate on Ethereum on each year is kind of variable, so we cannot really say that Ethereum does have an inflationary tokenomic. Number 3 is going to be USDT, doesn't matter. Number 4 is Ripple. Now, in XRP, we are having a maximum supply of, I think, about 100 billion tokens, and right now, the circulating supply is somewhere around 50 billion tokens, which means we are having overall another 50 billion token to distribute in the future. Number 5 is going to be Binance Coin, BNB, which the maximum supply of it is somewhere around 200 million tokens, and the circulating supply at the moment is about 160 million. So in BNB, about 80% of the tokens are actually distributed, and we are only having 20% of the maximum supply remaining to distribute. But here's a very important point. BNB is actually, I think, the only project within the top 10 which is kind of deflationary. Why is that? Because Binance said that they are doing token burns quarterly in order to reduce the supply until 100 million BNB remain. So if you do care about the tokenomics a lot, I think BNB might be a good project for you. At rank number 6, we are having Solana with the maximum supply of 508 million tokens, and the circulating supply at the moment is somewhere around 300, which means about 60% of the tokens are distributed, and we are only having 25% remaining. And number 7 is going to be Dogecoin. Now, this is kind of the true meaning of inflationary, because in Dogecoin, we literally do not have a specific maximum supply, and this is indeed an inflationary crypto. Also, each year in Dogecoin, 5 billion tokens get added to the circulating supply, which is, well, not good. Moving on to rank number 8, which is USDC. Again, doesn't really matter. At rank number 9, we are having Cardano with a maximum supply of 45 billion token, and the circulating supply is around 35, which means about 75% of the tokens are distributed. And finally, in the last place within the top 10, we are having Tron TRX, and the maximum supply in here is about 100 billion tokens, and as of December 2024, about 89 billion tokens are distributed, which means we are only having 11% to go until we reach the maximum supply. So these are the tokenomics of the top 10 projects in the crypto market. Now, in Algorand, the situation is actually, believe it or not, much better. Why is that? Because in terms of maximum supply, we are only having 10 billion Algorands, and this is the key. This is the hard cap on the total number of tokens that will ever exist. Okay? I want you to fully understand this. Also, in terms of circulating supply, about 8 billion tokens are distributed, which means we are only having 20% of the tokens to distribute in the future in order to reach to maximum supply. So you see, in Algorand, the tokenomics are much better than a lot of the projects within the top 10, and also most of the tokens are distributed. So let me ask you this question. Why do you think that Algorand tokenomics are actually inflationary? If you're looking for an inflationary project, I told you earlier, you should definitely check out Dogecoin, because in Doge, we basically do not have a maximum supply, but in Algorand, we are having 10 billion, and this is a hard cap. Now, here is another very important point. When you're having some transactions on Algorand's network, you are going to pay the fees by Algorand's token, right? That specific amount of Algorand will go to a specific wallet and it will be locked forever. And this is called Algorand burnt tokens. So why does this thing matter so much? Because Algorand is working heavily on stable coins, and I truly believe that stable coins are going to be the next big thing in the crypto market. And for example, in Europe, you are having Algorand's stable coins, which are just attracting more and more adoption. And if those companies and people are going to pay the fees by Algorand token, that means that as time goes by, the burning rate of algo tokens will just get higher and higher. And when you put this thing next to the maximum supply of Algorand being hard capped, then okay, I don't know about you guys, this to me means kind of deflationary and not inflationary. And in my opinion, it is going to be a very important reason for why in the next couple of years in Algorand, we are just going to see huge price appreciations. And in this bull run specifically, I fully believe we are going to participate and we are going to get some magnificent moves on the upside. So back to this comment, I really do not understand what you are talking about. And if you have any more information that I don't, please share it in the comment section so I can have a better understanding of where you are coming from. I just do not get it. So in terms of tokenomics, I think Algorand is a fantastic project. And in terms of technical analysis, and specifically in my field of work, Elliott waves, if you have been a regular viewer, you know my stance on Algorand. I think this is one of the most bullish charts that we are having in the crypto space. I just do not believe that the bull run for Algorand is over and we're just going to go from here straight down in order to set new lows. No, I find that extremely hard to believe, and I do have a couple of very good reasons for it. Number one, in the long term, we are having starting from this high and ending to about the lowest low all the way down here, about let's say 8.5 cents, a very clear A, B, C zigzag, as you can see with all the subwaves, which means that some sort of a bottom in Algorand is actually in. So this is one reason to be optimistic, and it's not the only one. You see, if you want to argue that, for example, we're gonna have our final bottom around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, we must be able to find off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. And in terms of the subwaves, we're gonna have 5 up into wave 1, 3 and 5, and for wave 2 and 4 we can have different possibilities, doesn't matter. Let's say WXY into 4 and an ABC into wave 2. Let's go on the live chart, zoom in more and see what is happening. So what do we have off of the lowest low down here? An extremely clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up with all the subwaves, and I just do not believe that 5 waves on the upside do get any more clear than this. And on a higher degree, here is the bullish news. This is actually into a larger degree wave 1, followed by that this move down to about the lowest low, I would argue, is just a correction for wave 2. And well, according to this scenario, the idea is that at the moment we are on our way to complete the subwaves for a huge wave 3 and then correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And I would argue that overall we are going to have these waves actually in this cycle. So you see, in terms of the structures in Algorand, I think in the midterm, meaning for the next couple of months, we are looking absolutely magnificent. Now, here's a very important point. In the short term, in terms of classic TA, meaning support and resistances, in this area, we got a solid break of this very important resistance, and followed by that, we can say, well, okay, for all we know, this move down is just going to be a pullback, and what's going to happen after it, you know what, a continuation of the bull run in order to at least take the highest high in this region for the first target around 63 cents. And I'm thinking we're not actually going to stop here. No, I believe we're going to go quite a bit more higher than that. And the next target can actually be somewhere around the next important area, all the way up here, about $8. So from the current point, about 33 cents, maybe even a bit lower. For example, we can definitely get in the next couple of days another move on the downside in order to maybe even take this low. It's not going to matter. We can expect another, let's say, at least 200% move on the upside after we hit the bottom in the short term. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. In terms of structures, I'm having an extremely hard time to believe that our bull run in Algorand is over. No, this is quite a choppy move on the downside when you compare it to this sharp move up, which is a very important characteristic of a correction structure in here happening. And it means after this correction is over, we are going to have some more big moves on the upside. Also, if you are interested in tokenomics, then okay, I believe Algorand in terms of tokenomics is in a much better position relative to the top 10 projects in the crypto market currently. And you want to remember that the maximum supply in Algorand is hard capped at 10 billion tokens. And until now, about 8 billion tokens got distributed, and we are only having 20% to go until we reach the maximum supply, which means, well, we're not actually having an inflationary situation. If anything, because of what they are doing in the stablecoin environment, we might even have a deflationary situation in the future. And these all, for me at least, add up to a fantastic bullish case for the long term. And I'm not here to sell you anything. No, I would highly suggest just do your own due diligence and do not listen to me or anybody else on YouTube or Twitter. No, it's your money. Ultimately, you are going to decide what to do with it. If you make any money, it's yours. And if you lose any, it will be also yours. So do your own research, come up with your own conclusion. And then if you thought that this is a good project, okay, feel free to watch some videos on YouTube in order to have maybe a better understanding of what might be next in the short to midterm. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.